Hi guys, welcome to PJ's Card Academy. This is going to be my very first video on YouTube, and today I will be opening up a handful of booster packs from the new set Secrets of Strixhaven. This just came out yesterday. I'm recording this on Saturday the 25th. So we're going to open up a couple packs here. I bought this from my local game store. And as I'm opening up packs, I'm just going to be kind of talking about my experiences with Magic the Gathering as a whole, but mostly going to be focusing on this set since this is the one that we're opening today. Like I said, I picked this up from my local game store. If I can get this open. There we go. All right. So, put this in the back here. We got this little cover thing. I think this just kind of, this kind of tells us kind of what the schools are and kind of what each school is kind of for. So like you got like Opus for Prismari, Life Gain with Witherbloom, so on and so forth. So I think each box comes with a total of 30 packs. Let's just open up the one side here. So okay, looks like off the side here we're opening up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packs today. All right, excited for that. Like I said, this is my very first video on YouTube. I am hoping to kind of create a small community just based off of trading card games. My personal experiences are with Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic. I'm slowly getting into Pokemon. I'm having a friend help me out with that for the time being, but I'm more well-versed in Yu-Gi-Oh! I just got into Magic about a year ago, honestly. I started off with the Final Fantasy set. I got like the starter kit that has those 2 decks with like Cloud and Sephiroth. Bought that, played it with a buddy of mine, who's also a YouTuber on here. His name is Ace Trainer Tyler. I would go ahead and check him out. He has much more about Pokemon, honestly, but he's a great guy. He's doing currently a Pokemon Champions and Red Nuzlocke video on his channel. So I would go ahead and check him out. And like I said, this is my first video, still trying to figure out what I want to do with everything here, but I always like watching other people open up packs and just kind of talk about their experiences with the game and everything like that. So I thought that was a pretty good inspiration to start my own channel here. And like I said, as I'm opening up these packs, I'm kind of paying attention to the cards, obviously. But I do want to flashback. This is a pretty good card people are excited about. Shared Roots, the Mystical Archive one. Looks pretty cool. Ambitious Rivalry. And a full art mountain. And token. People, also train of thought there. But yeah, I just want to talk about my experiences, especially with this set. While this isn't my first set in Magic, this is the first one I've been, like, present for, I guess is what you would call it. Like, I got into kind of like the spoiler season. I've been paying attention to all the other stuff, and this is also the one I did my first pre-release with. And I just kind of want to talk about the experience as a slightly newer Magic player. My pre-release I went to last Friday. Yes, it was last Friday. I went to my local game store, the same one I picked this booster box up at. And great timing, actually, because I did pick the Prismari pre-release bundle thing, so I had the seeded pack for Prismari. And honestly, I had a pretty good time with the pre-release Duty Beyond Death, like that. Banishing Betrayal. And Fields of Strife. I kind of like the art for this. And whatever, booster pack. That's not a booster pack, those are emblems and such. But I got my Prismari seeded booster or pre-release bundle. I wanted to go with Silver Quill when I was signing up, but the store was like already sold out when I was doing the like ticket thing. So I just went with Prismari because I do want to make an Is It deck eventually later down the line, but so I thought Prismari would be a pretty good way to kind of get incorporated or familiarized with red, blue, and everything. Potioner's Trove, this also talking about pre-release, this is a pretty good card for me in pre-release. It's just a 3 mana artifact that can tap for 1 mana of any color. And kind of speaking of that, so this is my first pre-release. It was also my first time playing against people who are not my friend Tyler or my fiance. And so that was a pretty good... Ooh, a braid. That's a nice art. Oh, and local spray. So this was a good chance to kind of meet with other people, play with other people, kind of, you know, see what else is out there. Because as much as I love playing with my buddy and my fiance, after a while you do kind of get into the same song and dance sort of thing, especially for playing the same decks over and over. So pre-release was a pretty good way to meet new people and see what else was out there. I did not do great on my first pre-release. I went 3 and 6, so 33% win rate. Love that for me. And I think what my main issue is I ventured outside of Prismari, so I did get a couple of pretty decent black cards. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. Oh, Berserk, that's a pretty nice artwork. HR referee. And I only incorporated black into my Prismari deck because a lot of the black cards I was getting were for like non-targeting removal. Like one of them is your opponent has to exile the card with the highest mana value, and that's a pretty good way to get around ward because it doesn't target it, just your opponent has to pick whatever meets the requirements there. And because I was incorporating some black into my Prismari deck, I found myself kind of getting, not necessarily mana screwed, but it was definitely, I was either getting all blue cards, or like I was getting all islands for my lands, or all mountains, when, you know, my hand is, like, for example, I also was running Thunderdrum Soulless. So that's honestly pretty good because the Opus effect is whenever you cast an instant sorcery, it just deals 1 damage, and then if it's 5 or greater, it deals 3 damage. So in this situation, I would have a Thunderdrum Soulless in my hand, which I wanted to use, but all my lands were islands, and, you know, I can't do that if he's a red card. But overall, I had a pretty good time. It was like 3 rounds. I went up against, Spell Pierce, that's a pretty good card. My first one was a Silver Quill deck. That one went pretty well. I won once against him because I had flyers, and then he won the other 2 times because he also had flyers. And also, again, just kind of getting mana screwed where you you don't have your land base that you need. And that is something kind of important. You want to make sure you have proper lands. If I could go back, because, you know, hindsight's 2020, I would definitely probably just, I wouldn't say get rid of the black cards I was running, because I was always able to play them because of Potioner's Trove, or I would get like the 2 swamps, or I had Shattered Sanctum in my deck for access to black. Repel Calamity and Stone Decons. Okay. I would definitely keep the black cards because they did come in pretty handy, especially because one of them I could just target and destroy a creature. And the second match I was going up against was, I don't know if it was the Quandrix or Wither. I think it was Quandrix, because he was getting his stuff up pretty beefy. So I was able to get rid of him. But hindsight, probably add a couple more mountains because I kept running into the issues where I didn't have any mountains. Which is important if you are running a 2-color deck and one of the colors is red. And I also have one of those colorless archaic cards. I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head, but it's the one where it's like a 5 cost. Was it this one? No. It was essentially like the more different mana you put into it, the bigger it gets, sort of thing. Definitely would have got rid of him because he never came up. He was, I think, just discard fodder for me at one point. But yeah, second guy was Quandrix, and then my third guy was Witherbloom. And the third one was actually the most interesting kind of back and forth I kept having. Each round was 50 minutes, and I think that one, we went to all 3 games, but that one went to, I think we got done with like 2 minutes left to spare, so it was pretty lengthy. But overall, for my first time doing a pre-release, first time playing against Magic, against other people who I'm unfamiliar with, I had a really good time. Giant Growth, and Imperious Ink Mage, then my land. Had a really good time. I would probably go to another pre-release. I think the next set coming out is Marvel Superheroes. Not going to be a big fan of that set. I love Marvel and everything like that. I just, after Spider-Man, I just kind of don't feel like going back to New York. Or I guess it's not exactly New York because it's Marvel, but I probably will go to a pre-release for that just to get a little bit more practice in. But my local game store did a really good job accommodating everyone. There was also a lot going on at the store. So like our event was scheduled to start at 4. I got there a little bit early just to essentially understand what I was doing, because first time doing everything, I don't know what to expect. The staff was really friendly and everything, but there was just like a lot going on. They had Orcana going on. They had Pokemon that was finishing up and was like went into overtime, sort of thing. So all in all, we didn't get our pre-release kits until like 4:30 and anything like that. But even taking that into consideration, kind of like the later start time, I don't fault the store for that. I had a really good first time for my first year playing Magic. And also, forgot to say, this is the last pack. Please bear with me. This is my first time doing anything like this. I'm enjoying it so far. I really want to kind of make this more of a habit. That's why I'm only opening up a third of the box. So hopefully with each opening, I can get a little bit better and more coherent and everything. Planes, and this should be our token, fractal, and spirit token. So that was the 10 packs of that booster box. Nothing super crazy unless I absolutely missed something, and if I did, I'm sure I'll find out about it later today. But thank you for tuning in to PJ's Card Academy. I'm hoping I am able to kind of get better at this as time goes on. If you could like, comment, subscribe to this channel, it would really help me out and kind of help me make the videos better for you guys, because obviously I want to make the best content I can for you guys, and things I would like to kind of focus on are pack openings, talking about certain mechanics, deck profiles. Again, the 2 games I'm familiar with are Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic. I will do Pokemon content here and there. I just not expect it 100% of the time for me. If you want Pokemon content, especially like Pokemon gaming, I would go check out my friend Ace Trainer Tyler. I will link him down in the description. Check him out. He great guy, great buddy of mine. And I know he's kind of starting the YouTube journey with me, sort of thing. That being said, thank you for tuning in to PJ's Card Academy. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and I will talk to you guys in the next episode.